Hello, Gemini. My name is Kristi. I am the Twisted Elemental. I'm coming to you today to do kind of like your energy weather check-in for the month of September 2023. We're going to see what energies you're going to be dealing with and working through this month. So let's get started. I'm calling on Spirit and all my sacred guides to help me discern true and accurate messages for all Gemini placements today. I would like messages of the purest, highest white light of truth and for the greater good of all. Thank you so much, Spirit. All right, what is the energy for Gemini this September? What do we need to know? Okay, for Gemini, please. Closing doors, completion. So this is like the end of a cycle, but it is a 5 number. So this is about change. This is going to be a big change for you. What else here for Gemini, please? What do we have? We have Moon Maiden, New Beginnings, card 41. Another 5 of change and covenant, sacred contract. Card 7, for me, 7's the number of spirit here. Underneath, Root Girl, the disowned self. All right, Gemini, there's a huge cycle change going on here with this closing door completion. And then right into this new beginning, the Moon Maiden. There is some sacred spiritual contract here that's at play. Whether this is with a person or within yourself, we'll look into. But we have this Root Girl that was underneath. So that's a subconscious position. So again, we're saying we have these cycles ending and cycles closing. This is number 46. It breaks down to a 10. That's about a new cycle, right? Root Girl, the disowned self. I want to say that this is a cycle where you're dealing with the parts of yourself you've disowned. It might have something to do with this contract. This contract could even be with, a soulmate that is meant to help reflect these wounds to you so that they can be brought up to see, so that you can deal with. Or maybe that's what's happened in the previous cycle, because we do have this new cycle. Doors are closing here, right? And I want to say the door that's closing is to this disowned self. All right, let's get some more Gemini. Let me get some of these karma cards and see what's going on here. For Gemini, please. Share the love. Card 3. This is like kind of like a card of union. I have lead underneath that. Another card for Gemini for September. Seek. This is like seeking guidance from within self. Share the love, card number 3. We do in the shadows behind this. You can see there's all this man and a woman facing each other. This and 3 are a number of union, right? Like two people, each individual souls coming together to create a third entity. Share the love. Like this heart is cracking open. This color is green. Lots of green in here too. This is like a heart chakra being cracked open here. The seek, this woman is meditating. She has the birds here. I say it all the time. For me, birds are messengers from spirit. She's grounded in the woods. I want to say this is seeking spirit through self, getting really still and quiet, doing some grounding, coming close to center so you can hear your higher self here. Also, with all the green, this definitely has to do with the heart chakra. I want to say, like, the disowned self, this is about coming into self-love, seeking self-love through seeking communion with your higher self, cracking open your heart chakra here. And all the places that you have disowned yourself previously, where you haven't allowed yourself to love yourself, Gemini. That cycle is ending. There's a new cycle here of self-love. And this is happening because you have these new beginnings. There is some sacred contract coming into play here, Gemini. All right. Let's do the main spread, Gemini. What we're asking in this spread is we're asking what the 3D energy is and what's going on, like, in your life 3D in September, what the lesson's meant to be, what the blessing is meant to be once you learn the lesson, what the challenge to learning that lesson is to overcome, and what the advice from spirit is. All right. Oh, Gemini. The all over energy for this reading is the 7 of Cups here. So the 7 of Cups kind of means you have a lot of options coming up. But also the other part of the 7 of Cups is that having so many options can really cause illusion and confusions for you. This card depicts Persephone here praying to her higher self, really, to get advice and answers on what she should do next here. And her higher self is heeding the call because she's able to listen to her at this moment. And she's telling her, it's this cup right here. That's your option. That's your choice. So this is telling me that this is about when I said the seek here, the seeking the connection to spirit through your higher self. This is what this is for. This is all about you. Everything that's happening here is about you learning to commune with your higher self, your intuition, which is going to help you bring in this self-love here. That once you can only love other people, Gemini, as much as you love yourself, or where you have met yourself, right? So in order to truly, deeply, and unconditionally love another, you have to first do that with yourself. And this is what this is about. Once you are in that energy of being able to do that, that's when you can share that to others with this sacred contract. You have the Queen of Pentacles underneath that. That talks to me about Queen of Pentacles is a very mature energy. Very grounded, very stable. She's holding the Ace of Pentacles there in her grapes. She's very fruitful and plentiful. The Queen of Pentacles is a good provider, a good spouse, a good parent. Very smart, a healer also. And I want to say, being able to have that heart chakra come cracking open and the seeking to commune in order to bring that self-love is a self-healer. That's that Queen of Pentacles energy. So I want to say this Queen of Pentacles is depicting you here. All right, tell me about September for Gemini. 6 of Swords. Some rite of passage here, moving on to calmer waters, which makes sense. This is this disowned self. It's like moving away from that because the cycle's completed to the new cycle here where there's some sacred contract. And the self-love, the seeking, is definitely a calmer place to be than in the disowned self. Tell me about the lesson Gemini's meant to learn here. Justice. Truth. Balance. Honesty. Just grace and dignity. I mean, this is... justice is a card of truth and balance, right? Lady Justice here. This is the very wise Justice. She has her owl on her shoulder here. very balanced with the scales here, and definitely speaking truth. I want to say your lesson here is how to bring your own self-balance, how to bring your own self-justice, being truthful with yourself. Like learning to commune with your higher self helps you be really truthful with yourself. This is about bringing your own justice to yourself. This is also good karma. This also could be court or spiritual court. All right, we're going to clarify, but let's get the rest here. What's the blessing that's meant to be received by Gemini? Oh, the King of Wands. Wow. This blessing could either be in another person, possibly a fire sign, does not have to be, that you have a spiritual contract with. But more so, I see this as you being in a really powerful place. The blessing here is once you bring yourself your own justice and move on from calm or water, from whatever this disowned self is here. And this disowned self, I'm going to say, comes out in all kinds of physical ways, even possibly people you've chosen to be in relationships with, or the energy that's, if you're disowning yourself, you're calling more of that energy to you at times. So I want to say this King of Swords is about you standing in your power firmly. The King of Swords is passionate and vibrant, goes after what they're passionate for, without doubt. The King of Swords is an action taker. All right. What's the challenge for Gemini to overcome here? Queen of Cups. Being emotionally available and vulnerable. Like having, I don't think it's actually having the emotions of love, although it could be. We have these share the love and seek, the opening up of the heart chakra. So I want to say this is opening up your heart chakra to be able to give and receive love equally with somebody else is your challenge here. The Queen of Cups holds an immense amount of love and is typically very generous about giving it, whereas the King of Cups at times holds back. So I want to say this is your challenge here, is this sharing of the love. What's the advice for Gemini? Seven of Pentacles. Divine timing. Plant new seeds. Really put some assessment in. We have the disowned self, right? That's a cycle changing because it's complete. I want to say Spirit's asking you to look back over your past. Whatever you need to move on from common water here, Spirit wants you to look back over it and really see what was put in versus what was gotten out. Like assess how these things were for you so that you can see the truth of it. Bring yourself your own justice. You don't, if somebody has not been giving you justice, if somebody has been dishonest with you, you don't need them to be truthful because you know, Gemini, you know, and when you assess this, you're going to see it very clearly. All right, let's clarify. I'm using the Tarot of Oppositions to clarify. It doesn't really have reversals and uprights. It's more of a dark and light, positive, negative. Gemini, before I forget, I'm also going to ask if you could hit that like button for me. It really does help the algorithm so I can continue putting these readings out. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so appreciative. All right, so tell me about the Six of Swords for the month of September for Gemini. What is this about? The Three of Swords and the negative. This is moving on from calmer water, from something that massively broke your heart. It's like, this is the cycle that's closing, is a cycle of lack of love, feeling like you have lack of love, a cycle of being heartbroken, a cycle of not loving yourself, Gemini, and not truly loving yourself, and that has manifested, I want to say, in relationships where you did not feel loved. This September is the time where you leave this behind. And I have the Queen of Wands underneath. We already had the King of Wands here. That's a match, right? This is you standing in your power. Being able to leave the broken heart behind puts you in a very powerful place. Tell me about the Six of Swords for September. Again, the Six of Swords and the upright. This is you truly leaving this stuff behind here. I have the Six of Swords to describe the Six of Swords. Underneath the deck, I have the Nine of Swords and the upright. This is truly being able to move on from this heartbreak relieves you of mass amounts of anxiety. The Nine of Swords in the negative here talks about sleepless nights, replaying conversations, massive amounts of anxiety. But this is cleared here. It's like this moving on provides you clearness. And I have the High Priestess. This is like really using your intuition, which is what this whole reading is about. Learning to use your intuition and your higher self to make really good choices for yourself. This moving on from this heartbreak allows you to clear your mind so that you can hear your intuition. And that is how you are able to make good choices. I like this for you, Gemini. All right, tell me about this justice, this lesson for Gemini. Cards. Ace of Cups in the upright. Bringing your justice, your lesson here is absolutely of self-love. That is your justice. This cracking open of the heart chakra here. Share the love. You're sharing it with yourself here. Seeking the guidance through your higher self with love. This Ace of Cups, this is your lesson. This is about loving yourself. Being truthful with yourself about yourself and the past. Maybe even being able to see where things in the past were unjust for you and why it's best to leave it there. This is a journey of self-love. Yeah, the Two of Cups in the negative here. There was some partnership that went wrong. This is a finding self-love after feeling possibly unloved in a partnership. Under that Two of Cups with the Ten of Swords, a harsh ending, right? Tell me about this justice, please. The King of Cups in the reverse, in the negative. Yeah, I want to say, yeah, with the Wheel in the negative underneath. I want to say, Gemini, that you might have had a repeated cycle with someone who really did a number on you. King of Cups in reverse is not a great energy. It's manipulative. Can even be mean, very stormy weather. Somebody who only wants self-gratification, possibly. Certainly someone who's not truthful. Someone who might have used love and sex as manipulative tools. And this is your lesson here is bringing yourself justice from this. And look, this is whatever this was with this King of Swords or the King of Cups. And this could even be you not loving yourself, right? Or possibly, it could be a water sign also. It does not have to be. But this is a cycle that has repeated and repeated and repeated here. Even if it wasn't the same person, if you can look back at your relationships and they seem like there was a similar theme to them, it was because the lesson wasn't being learned. That's why the cycle repeated. The lesson has been learned, right? The lesson has been learned. That's how you brought yourself justice here. You do not need to repeat the cycle anymore. Tell me about this King of Wands, please. The blessing that Gemini is going to receive. I want to say that this seeking of your higher self, which is going to help you crack open your heart chakra here, this disowned self is, I want to say, like, if this is just one past relationship or a string of them where you were treated like this, I want to say that's part of the disowned self here. You were tolerating less than because you didn't believe you deserved more than. That's over. Like, you are no longer going to be disowning yourself here. I love this Aries for you. Gemini. I don't know why I said Aries. I think probably because I'm looking at the King of Wands here. All right, tell me about this King of Wands, this blessing for Gemini, please. Six Pentacles. That's a equal give and take. That's a giving. The blessing is blessing. Six of Pentacles is equal give and take, or someone being generous, wanting to give gifts. This could even be giving of emotion. You have you in this very powerful energy here of the King of Wands, or even if this is somebody else, it's a very powerful energy, and it's an energy of giving and receiving. After competition and battle here, I have underneath the Five of Wands in the negative. This might have been something that has been fought for. Like somebody was not giving in the past. For certain. There was competition and battle. Underneath that's the Five of Pentacles in the positive. It's like recovering from this. Tell me about the Six of Pentacles and the King of Wands, please. What is the blessing here for Gemini? Four of Swords in the negative. Not healing, not taking a time out. The fours are certainly important here. Fours talk about stability and foundation, or even protection from spirit. This is we have the Four of Swords in the negative with the Four of Wands in the negative. That's like, and you can see in this picture the Four of Wands, this is not a happy home, right? This is a home that's crumbling down. This is a relationship that's failed. And something that hasn't been healed from, right? I want to say that possibly there's a sacred contract here, and I want to say this sacred contract is something that is designed to help heal you. Share the love, right? I want to say possibly you have a King of Wands coming towards you, Gemini, that wants to give, and whatever this is that he's going to give, the emotion that this person's going to give, or the energy, or whatever it is going to allow you to finally heal from a very poor situation here, whether this was a living situation or, a marriage or whatever it may have been. It definitely has crumbled. That's for certain. And you have not healed from it. But this is your blessing, is that someone is coming to give that is meant to help you heal. I have the Fool here in the upright underneath that. That's about taking a leap of faith, a positive leap of faith. Your challenge here is, though, to be able to give of the emotion. That's why this is so important, that your heart chakra, that's why they're asking you to seek, because your heart chakra cracking open is what is going to allow this to come on board and you be able to give. Knowing that you deserve. When I say this isn't just about giving. The Queen of Cups is not just about giving love. The Queen of Cups is also about being able to receive love as well, which we have this Six of Pentacles here, equal give and take from a King of Wands. Tell me about this challenge here, the Queen of Cups for Gemini. The world on its side here. This is about, the world is about ending, completing a cycle so a new cycle can begin. I have closing door, completion, moon maiden, new beginning. This cycle ending for the new one to begin hinges on this Queen of Cups energy and the being able to give and receive of love. There is a sacred contract here, but it's meant to be a loving contract. And if you're not able to give and receive, this person is not going to be directed towards you, because the divine timing, first of all, right? If you're not ready, this person can't come towards you. Whoever this is, whatever this sacred contract is, they can't come towards you. Spirit will not let them until you are ready. So your challenge is to get ready emotionally here. Yeah, I have the Four of Pentacles and the positive underneath here. This is like your stability. A lot of Four of Wands talk about holding back. This isn't the card of the miser. If it were in the other direction here, that would be definitely holding back or being stingy, holding on to something too tightly. This person is admiring their coin there. This person is building a new stable beginning for themselves, or a good foundation. This is the card that comes before the Four of Wands. You have to have a good, solid foundation for a Four of Wands happy home to blossom. Anything else for this Queen of... Oh, hello. Justice on its side. What is that? The Hermit on its side. And the Fool again. Okay. So your lesson here is justice. I've got your challenge being justice on the side, right? Because justice, in this case, justice comes to you through healing your heart, through loving yourself and being able to be open to give to someone who's deserving of it. Not this nonsense from the past, right? This is what needs to be let go. That's why you're not loving yourself right now, from dealing with stuff like this, or whatever trauma happened to you to not love yourself, call these types of relationships to you. You're done with that. You have to, this is you deciding to bring yourself justice through whether you decide to heal your heart or not. I have the Hermit on its side here. The Hermit is a card of healing. It is a card of, we have the wise old man here, right? With the Lantern. This is a card of Virgo. This is about going deep within to your deepest, darkest and shining the light on your own ish so that you can heal your own traumas and heart and brokenheartedness and all the stuff that's happened to us. On its side here, this is telling me the challenge here is deciding to heal yourself, bring yourself justice and truth, heal your heart, and be able to be emotionally available. And then once that happens, you get to take your leap of faith. This is divine timing. Like I said, you have a sacred contract here, which tells me that there's some partner. Possibly this King of Wands does not have to be a fire sign, but somebody very passionate who wants to give coming towards you. They cannot come until you are ready. That's the divine timing. And you are ready when you decide to heal. I want to say, yes, this relationship or this person, whatever this is, even if this is a friendship and it's not love, it does not have to be love. Absolutely. This could just be a friend or a person that enters your life that is going to be very healing of your past, but you have to decide that you're going to take that healing path first. All right, tell me about this advice, the Seven of Pentacles. I'm hearing slow and steady wins the race. What is the advice for Gemini here, please? We have the Hangman on its side. About getting a new perspective. Also, I'm getting the Hangman involves a sacrifice. I have the Ten of Wands here underneath in the negative, which is there's a burden that must be dropped. The Hangman involves a sacrifice. The sacrifice here is this Ten of Wands that hasn't been dropped. Like, and I'm getting, as the Seven of Pentacles can also be seeds planted, like not wanting to give up on something because you've put so much time and effort in it. That's not helpful to you. Yes, sometimes we put time and effort into things that don't succeed, but we have to know when to let go of those things when it's gone so far and we know it can't succeed. Just because we put the time, effort, and planted the seeds doesn't mean it's what we need. Like, if it's causing this burden and your life is just catamaraning here down the hill, then it is something to be sacrificed. This is also about getting a new perspective on, what this is, on the seeds planted. Like I said, this is a card of assessment, needing to assess the past so that you can come to a new understanding of what that really was for you and the lessons that were meant to be learned here, so you can drop that burden. Anything else for the advice here? Yeah, the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups. This is you being really independent and secure and stable. We have the Nine of Pentacles, but it shows two people. This is two people here that have become really stable, really grounded, really secure, stacking their own coins. With the Queen of Cups, the ability to give and receive of love. Your advice is to definitely seek to become closer, to be able to communicate with your higher self. Really put the effort into closing that own cycle, because you have this new cycle coming. Stop disowning yourself here. You need to come into this place of self-love, letting your heart chakra crack open so that you're able to give and receive. Until you have self-love, you don't accept love from other people because you don't feel like you deserve it. You won't allow someone else to love you more than you love yourself. And that's a subconscious thing. You have no control over it. But this is about allowing those things that are catamaran in your life to put aside, getting the new perspective, sacrificing the old, which won't feel as much of a sacrifice when you realize the toxicity it brought to your life. But really, like, beginning in your own independence here, getting really stable and sound and secure, focusing on self, and then following your heart and allowing your heart to shine, Gemini. I think this is going to be a little bit of a turbulent month because it is in the midst of moving on to calmer water. This is a rite of passage that you're going through right now that is clearing the way for the new cycle. All right, Gemini, I'm sending you so much light and love. I want you to remember to stay blessed and to always, always, always love yourself first, Gemini. Thank you so much.